Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing very, very well. I wanted to share with you something that I've learned at work that I think that you can apply to your own projects or your own work, rather if you use Django. And I want to tell you a story about how I got there and what I did and what I learned. So let's get to it. So I was working on a ticket which involved some canonical URL fixes. So I had to take all these URLs over here and normalize them to make them all lowercase. And the reason why we wanted to do the lowercasing for these is that whenever Google or any other search engines crawl through your site and go ahead and take a look at all of the URLs, especially through the canonical ones, some of them could have duplicates, so we wanted to uniformly put them all into lowercase so that the search engine doesn't end up taking additional resources crawling through our site. And so let's go to the code base and I will show you how I solved it. So I just put a list of URLs for example here. This isn't too important. What we want to focus on is the URLs itself. So let me just go to the base before I go show you the homepage that extends from the base. So it's just a very simple Django HTML5 template with a block head to add any additional scripts like meta, style. In this case, it's a link tag, and a body block just to show you like a visual representation through the template what this is. But essentially, it's the same thing. It's all caps, lowercase, title case, and it's the same thing for this. So at the time, the only familiar way that I knew how to apply filters was through each individual variable. And so I could have just done a filter and used a lower here. And if I did, and actually let me go to add the lower one here as well, just so you can see it. So if I applied a filter to each individual variable, then it will do the lowercase. And if I go to the head tag and to the element source here, these ones are lowercase as well. The only issue with this is that in a large company, you can have up to thousands of templates, well, if not hundreds. And so what you'll have to do is go to each individual template and search for them, search for the canonical link, and apply the filter to every single one of them. And that's not very efficient because if you ever wanted to change them, you have to go back and repeat the same process over and over and over again. And so what I wanted to do was apply it at like the block level so that at least whatever is within this block, let's say I have a block called canonical URLs, then anything in here I can apply the filter and I won't have to mess with going into each individual one to do so. And so I did a very quick Google research. So I just did Django filter tag and click on and just read the documentation of all of the built-in template tags. And look what we have here. We have the filter. And this filter block will apply any filters that are encapsulated within this filter block. So for example, in this one that it shows, it's going to force escape and lower anything that's within this filter. And so that seems very, very easy enough. And so let's go ahead and try that. And before I do, I just want to refresh the page to show you that once again, it's not all uniform. And so what I want to do is let's go to the body and apply the filter here. So I'll just do filter lower because I just want to end it all lowercase. And I'll just end the block with end filter. I'm sorry, not end block. And if I were to do that, it is all uniformly in lowercase. One little problem with this though, it shares the same problem with each individual variables where I have to go into each individual template, look for the specific body that I want to apply to the filter to, and then apply the filter. And I have to repeat the same process over and over again. So naturally, you'd want to go back to the base template and apply the filter here. So I'll just do filter lower and end filter. That way, whenever a template inherits from this specific template that you want this filter applied, and you won't have to worry about adding the filter later on whenever you create a different filter. So I believe I added this into the head. Let's just do it for the body as well so you can see it better. And filter. And if I were to refresh, now it's applied the lower to both the head and the body, and our problem is fixed. You're obviously not limited just to the lower filter, by the way. You have all of these great different built-in Django tags, such as if you wanted to uppercase them, then you can use the upper value. If you wanted to URL encode, you can do that. If you want to truncate, there are many different tags that bring quality of life to your Django templates. And if you don't have one of these, you can create a custom filter, which if you don't know how, then I can make a quick video on that in the future. But again, you can just Google Django custom filters, and it basically shows you right here how to create custom tag template tags and filters.